Before we start, I'd like to say a massive thank you to Toby Roberts who did this for me. He did the Google Earth video footage of he's a student of Natori Ryu. Now the question is where was the Shoninki written? Now the Shoninki is of course the Shinobi Manual True Path of the Ninja by Natori Sanjuro Masazumi, and it was written in 1681. Now it's not the only thing he wrote. He actually wrote the Book of Samurai series with the different things there that are being published in English. But unlike the Bansen Shukai and the Shinobi Hiden, we actually know where this was written. Maybe not the exact room, maybe not the exact building, but we know the area where this samurai, Natori Sanjuro Masazumi, was standing and doing his stuff and actually thinking about the Shoninki, if not in his spare time writing down the notes. Now the Shoninki was written in 1681 and he'd actually retired from active service at this point. However, what we do know is that between 1654 and around the 1670s, he worked at this castle along with Edo as well. Now this is Wakayama Castle in Wakayama, Japan, and I have been here many times, and there's a gift shop there, there's the modern stairs up to the building and the little ticket office, and I've actually been there with students from Natori Ryu. Now what we do know is that Natori Sanjuro Masazumi used to be first a guard, a general guard, you know, a samurai guard in the castle, and a page to the lord, and he worked his way up to actually being with the lord and staying around with him. Now what you have to realize is this is a rebuilt building. It was destroyed in World War II. I have spoke to actual survivors. In fact, the Natori family themselves, who are his descendants, they remember the castle being burnt down on the night, and they remember being carried into the fields while the bombers, I think they're B-52s, I think the bombers took out the castle, and it was considered one of the best castles in Japan at the time. It was a cultural heritage, but the Americans decided to bomb Wakayama, I think because it was a port city at the time. But so this was rebuilt in the 1950s out of concrete, and it's not amazing in its replication of it, and we do think in the time of Natori Sanjuro Masazumi this castle was actually black. So we have to imagine that Isui Sensei was walking around here with the Lord, which is Tokugawa Yorinobu, and that he's actually doing his different duties. He's got his time off, he's walking in the gardens, he's doing his tea room stuff. He may even have been acting as a shinobi for the Lord. That's something we don't know. But he was called Isui Sensei, which means one drop teacher. And what that means is it means like a drop of water constantly hitting a piece of rock, it wears away until it gets to the bottom. Now he was called this because he used to study till he got to the bottom of things. So we know he was studying all the different bits of armor, the different weapons, tactics, everything. He will have been taking the castle into account. He'll have been looking around the castles. We know he went to Edo. We know he went on, whenever the Lord went away, he went away with the Lord. And he lived in a townhouse around this area. Me and Monk Yamamoto have been trying to find the exact house he lived in, and we're not quite sure, but we do know where the Lord lived after he retired. The Lord retired, and Isui Sensei, we think, retired nearby him. So he did live in multiple positions around the castle. So when we're thinking of the Shoninki and who wrote it and where it was written, we know there was one ninja writing, and he was writing right here in this city and this area.